And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with our final segment of episode 208 of the SplashCast Monday Night Raw. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe. Our NFL segment, we're going to start off with the Falcons. If you're listening to the playback, Falcons are going to have their own segment along with the Mike Check, the Hawks. But if you're here live, let's talk about it. The Falcons took over New Orleans. At least we're not the Saints or the Aints or the Taints, whatever you want to call them. And we beat the Saints pretty handily from the very beginning and won all the way through, which was to be expected. I think the Saints are like 1-8,
Terrible.
2-9, something like that. Although they did just beat Carolina and did us a solid. So there's a lot of things about this game that we need to discuss. Kirk Cousins started. No Drake London. And
No Kyle
yet
Penix. No Kyle Penix.
No Michael Penix. And we still ended up winning this game. Kirk Cousins had a fantastic performance. He started off a little iffy, and then he got settled in. And let me tell you, if there's anybody that can show me something different, I will go to my grave thinking that an Achilles injury is about 12 to 18 months. Because he looked way more mobile. He looked great running the play action. Let me tell you, and I don't know if you were watching the game. I think you missed the game because you were asking for updates, and I was kind of giving you updates as I was talking. Zach Robinson's play calling was actually pretty good. We actually ran the ball and ran play action pass and lined up under center and pretty much all but abandoned the pistol. The offensive scheme looked 1,000 times better. It looked great. What's concerning is why in the hell didn't we do this with Penix? Raheem says Penix was not comfortable, is what it's starting to say now.
Well, there are a couple things. I've done a lot of research. I've read a lot of things. This thing has really bothered the absolute hell out of me. Y'all know I basically tell Reggie, like, first drive, me and him, are we in the pistol? If the answer is yes, then we're committed to losing. Now, after doing the in-depth research, the first part they say, and some of this is excuses and bullshit. Some of this I believe to be reasonably true. They say that Elijah Wilkinson, they did not trust. And due to the fact that Penix is left-handed, he's the guy protecting his blind side. So instead of putting him under center and potentially getting crushed, they put him in the pistol. Now, I don't like that because you got to figure something else out. So the reason that they were able to go to under the center is the blind side protection was shifted back to Jake Matthews, a guy they trust infinitely more. I don't know exactly how I feel about that, but the other part that I think is they could have still, even if you believe the pistol was the best way to go about it at this point with the personnel that you were provided, you could have been coaching him up to be a quarterback to play under center. So if he didn't start the season in a position to play under center, you got some time to coach him into a space where he can be. Give him 3 or 4 plays the first game where he's under center, 6 to 7 plays, 10 to 15 plays, so that we could actually make this offense into what we believed that it was supposed to be. So I give them a little credit. That part does make sense. But overall, still Raheem and still Zach, y'all mismanaged this. You just didn't do a good job.
and Terry. And to add to that, the offensive performance was so good. Darnell Mooney looked like a totally different person. Bijan Robinson, they actually used in a more of a capacity that we would have liked, where they got him in the run game, but also in the passing game. They use Algier a little bit more. Everything that we asked for them to do, they attempted. I'm not gonna say they use Algier enough, but they attempted.
Too little, too late for me though. I'm almost doesn't count. I don't want to hear that
Why?
bullshit.
Why would you wait till you were on a 5-game losing streak to decide to, even if you have Elijah Wilkinson, you've got to try something else? That tells me that they didn't even practice Penix under center.
Nope.
Is what that tells me. And another thing that I noticed, and I knew Mooney was going to have a pretty good game because Mooney has rapport with Kirk. But another thing I noticed is Zach Robinson and Kirk were having discussions on the sideline, like going through the iPad and talking about that. What
I
they
would
see and
rather
everything.
Kirk Cousins be the offensive coordinator than Zach Robinson. 100%.
I did notice that we still were having issues getting the play call in. So we still were
Embarrassing.
hiking the ball with 5 seconds, 4-3-2.
Fucking embarrassing between you have a offensive coordinator and a veteran quarterback. If Kirk can't do it, it's no way you can ask Michael Penix to do it. It's no way.
Yeah. And the offense we were out there with David Sills the fourth, Drummond, who elevated from the practice squad, and Darnell Mooney and Kyle Pitts.
Nobody's playing nobody's.
Kyle Pitts still. I mean, Kyle, it seemed like every time I try to say something good, we should keep you, bro. You had 3 more drops. You had 3 more money bags that you dropped. Like, yeah, a couple big games, but I mean, he's so
low intensity, low focus, low motor, and on top of that, he does not block. I'm a Gator fan. I've moved on from him in my heart and soul. You can't trick me repeatedly. Once I got it, bro, I'm not doing it. You're not finna put me in this situation to let me down. This team already does that. I'm not letting you do that as well. At some point, I have my own personal self-respect, and that's what I'm going to take.
Yeah. Now, we were bit by the injury bug a little bit. We got Bergeron back, and then he re-aggravated his ankle injury. As far as I know, he's still going to be day-to-day for that. I think it was...
Hell, I'm day-to-day. I'm day-to-day with these...
a high ankle sprain. But, man, this offense looks... Imagine... We did all of that. Now, again, I must say we are playing the Saints. And
yes.
The Saints are awful.
What we're not going to do is we're not going to be the Cleveland Browns. We're not going to play a team that's terrible and then suddenly believe that our team is something that it's not. We're not going to do that.
Yeah. But something that it is, though, man, the defense is still amazing. We beat up, and the defense beats up on teams that we're supposed to beat up, which is we always say that's the first thing and sign of a good team or a team that's progressing is winning the games you're supposed to. We did come in with some injuries on the defensive side. We got good news and bad news. Billy Bowman, torn Achilles. Starting nickelback, out for the season, probably out, as I told you, with Kirk, with the Achilles. It's a 12 to 18 month recovery time for you to be fully healthy. That's unfortunate. Divine Diablo does return along with D. Alford. And let me tell you, Divine Diablo, D. Alford had game. Well, really, we've seen Divine. D. Alford had game of the year. As you see, he's front and center on the graphic. He played slot, outside corner. They played Kobe Bryant at outside corner.
10 tackles, 9 solo, 1 pass deflection.
And it wasn't them D Alford tackles in the past either, where it's a tackle 30 yards downfield. Nah, he stopped players on 3rd and 1. He was blitzing. He had a fumble recovery. He played out of his mind. And if Billy Bowman could come back healthy, I think our secondary all the way to the dime formation is set. Mike Hughes, fantastic game. Fantastic game.
Excuse me?
Mike
Say
Hughes
what?
had a fantastic game. AJ Terrell, fantastic game. And of course, the rookies on defense, just Jalen and JPJ, another 2.5 sacks between them. One for JPJ, 1.5 for JPJ, James Pierce Jr., one for Jalen. Xavier Watts had the interception. Ruka Oro got a sack. Brandon Dorlers got another sack and a half. We played Caden Ellis. They figured out to just put Caden Ellis in the flat or have him run at the quarterback. Don't put him in the middle of the field no more.
Not put him around Ted McMillan, boy. Ted McMillan, man.
Nope. And they didn't. And Ronnie Harrison got to shout you out. You may be the opposite linebacker of Divine Diablo. We didn't see a JD Bertrand anywhere. I don't even know if the Bertrand was in the stadium. But we didn't see him on the field at all. And the defense looked better. Jesse Bates played like the free safety he's supposed to be. It was,
and that's the thing
really
that I've actually heard about Jesse Bates, and the reason that he hasn't had the season that we're so used to is he's coaching rookies right now. He's coaching Xavier Watts, and he's coaching Billy Bowman, and trying to be the safety at the same time. And I could see how that could put you in a position where you're trying to do too many things at one time, and you can't be the best version of yourself. I do want to go ahead and say this now to all you idiots that get on the internet with your microphones and your uninformed ideas. Everybody who's like, oh, well, the Falcons don't have a first-round draft pick this year. Don't matter. Because if you can tell me I can get Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. a year early, I want it. And I do it again. And if I remember correctly, aren't didn't that trade help us get either Xavier Watts or Billy Bowman?
We did another trade for Billy Bowman, but yeah, we set it up, yeah.
So
no, Xavier Watts. We got Billy Bowman. Billy Bowman we got right.
That people forget context. They just everybody says, oh, well, you don't have a first round pick. Don't care. Those guys, that pass rush is our future.
Second in sacks in the league, bro.
And that's just not something that you associate with the Atlanta Falcons ever. Oh, y'all did what? As a team, y'all had a pass rush and y'all like tackled the quarterback. When y'all start doing that? So,
and we had a lot of pressures too. I think we had like 20 pressures. We had 5 sacks and 20 pressures. Tyler Show was back there. They showed the slow motion when he got sacked, and somebody used the back of your head to stand up. They did that there.
That is one of the most demoralizing things that a human can do. Is like when you're face down and they kind of get up first and they push the back of your helmet where it go. This is probably not as bad because it's like that turfy grass, but back in the day, it used to be in like real dirt, and you got the dirt clawed in your face, somebody stepping on your face. You're like, oh Lord, and they're kicking our ass. But yes, when it comes to sacks, I want to say that we're third, and the team in front of us is Cleveland. And Cleveland had 10 sacks this week.
And 77 of them came from Myles Garrett.
Right. So
they got the human cheat code. I'm not hating because Myles Garrett is amazing.
Right.
But for us,
Denver has 49 sacks. Cleveland went into the weekend with 32 sacks, ended the weekend with 42 sacks. And then we got 39. But y'all know that real Falcons fans know what that means. That is, I don't have a gripe with that. I don't have an answer for that. We have 39 sacks. We almost have 49ers have 12 sacks. Bengals have 15. Panthers have 16. The Ravens have 18 sacks. Man, the Eagles, 22 sacks. We have damn near double.
Yeah. And guess what? We may have a kicker. Zane Gonzalez hit a 56-yard, 54-yard field goal. Hey man, he looks like a kicker, and this is why I say we may have a kicker. He's got OCD. He has to have everything the same at all times. He keeps messing with his hair till it's right.
I know exactly
like
what
Omar Garcia Parra.
I will say, as I've seen him do this before, the first time I saw it, I ain't gonna lie, I was scared. I was like, bro, it's tripping. You know, it's the same way that I saw Embiid's Bell's palsy, and I'm like, am I the only person seeing this? I know I can't. I got eyes. Y'all not looking. Nobody gonna say nothing. And then the next week on Twitter, they're like, oh, well, he has obsessive compulsive disorder. So, but shout out to people beating their disability. Hey, and if you want to come here and be an obsessive kicker, I'm cool with it.
56 yards, and I mean he could have hit it from 62. Now I'm gonna end this segment before we move on. I have a few. I'm going
Hope Dealer. There he is. Hope Dealer. Hope, go ahead, man.
Is it possible with the Falcons schedule? So the Falcons play the Bucs again. We don't play the Panthers anymore. Our two toughest games, of course, are going to be the Rams and the Seahawks. Then we play like the Jets, the Cardinals, and I can't remember who else we played. The Saints again.
Wait, hold on. Let me help you out. So this week we play the Jets.
0-11.
Yes. Then we play the Seahawks. Play the Buccaneers on December 11th. Play the Cardinals, Rams, and Saints.
We could do so. The reason I said all of that, it's possible that Kirk Cousins comes in and saves everybody's job. Because if you win the games you're supposed to win and steal one from Seattle or the Rams, which I don't know if that's going to happen against the Rams, but steal one against Seattle or the Rams, all of a sudden you are in the thick of things for the division. Now it's either win the division or go home. You've lost literally every other tiebreaker there is to possibly lose to get a wild card.
It's over, brother. It's over.
But Kirk Cousins could save everybody's job. And also, well, I have another point, but that was the first one. You think Kirk Cousins can do it? I think Kirk is going to end up auditioning for being the starting quarterback for next year.
And he'll probably be back, to be completely honest. But they play the Buccaneers are going to play the Cardinals. They're going to beat the Cardinals. They're going to play the Saints. They're going to beat the Saints. They will play us again. Maybe we can steal it. Then they play the Panthers 2 times and the Dolphins once. They're probably going to win those last 3 games. I don't think that there's a realistic road.
Last 3 games makes them 9. So here's what I say. Baker Mayfield's hurt, but we'll get there.
Yes. Let's go ahead and update him now. Sprained AC joint is left shoulder. There's no fracture, no structural damage. One source says Buccaneers are not ruling out him playing this Sunday, which I think is probably relatively short-sighted. You could probably let Teddy Bridgewater go out there against Jacoby Brissett. I'm not doing that.
That Cardinals defense ain't bad. It ain't good, but it ain't bad. You're gonna have to score some points. But so even with Kirk, my second point is the Falcons kind of lucked up a little bit. And follow me when I say this, because I know y'all
follow me.
Y'all gonna be like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Listen, if Penix really can't line up under the center, then he's gonna need a year to figure out how to do that. What if you keep Zach Robinson, or if you bring in a Shanahan disciple or a McVay disciple? That's where everybody come from. Shanahan and McVay tree or philosophy. You're gonna have to be able to run play action pass from under the center. So with Kirk Cousins, Penix essentially is going to be out for at least 9 months, 9 to 10 months. That's out till September, October, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, September, August, September, in that area. You may luck up, and if Kirk plays well enough to start, you may luck up and get Kirk to start next year and have Penix on the bench, and you will have gone around the world to do exactly what you thought you were going to do when you did this entire thing
I've been around.
of signing Kirk and then drafting Michael Penix, right? Your goal was to play Kirk, and then his last season, let him go somewhere or cut him because he doesn't have as much guaranteed money, and then bring along Michael Penix, who then understands the offense and knows how to play. You now have an opportunity to salvage that plan. Unfortunately, at the hurting of Michael Penix, but I still have seen him be pretty good. And if what they say is true about the right tackle, you have a chance to then go buy or draft for 2 or 3 tackles. So, I mean, at this point, it is possible for this to work out. Will we make the playoffs? I don't think so. But I think Kirk is going to play just well enough that everybody gets another year.
I'm not doing
I know
this.
Falcons fans are going to be pissed.
No, I'm not putting myself through the misery of doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Fire Zach, fire Raheem. I don't care if you even fire, trade Kirk. We need to go in a different direction. If we do this again, I don't know what else to expect other than the same thing. And the fact that we would not get out of the pistol, we could not, even if the whole situation I gave y'all, if we can't solve that problem in an entire football season, this is not the group of people I want running my team. Fair. You can't solve one problem.
What's crazy is with the Falcons, so we can move on to the NFC South.
He is Hope Dealer.
With the Falcons, what crazy thing is everybody else lost and the Falcons won. When that happens in the division, that's especially now with the Bucs getting into their more difficult part of the season. I think they had a tough beginning of the season, and they had kind of like cupcake, and then they have not cupcake. They didn't a reprieve in the schedule, and then it's going to finish off tough. I think the Bucs losing, so now they're 6-5. Carolina lost, so they're 6-6.
Reggie.
And Carolina's schedule ain't easy.
This ain't ours. We are not going to look. We're not going to look in a couple months and say, "Shh, man,
it happened last year." We started out again last year. We had like a 4-game lead in the division, 5-game lead in the division, and then Kirk got hurt, and everybody else got hurt. Not everybody else, but a lot of people got hurt, and when the Bucs just slow walked us down to the playoffs and won the division. And this essentially, we are at 180 degrees. The Bucs started off hot. Falcons tried to cake pace. They then fell off, and now they have an opportunity to kind of go forward. And this offense does look 1,000 times better, and the defense looks good. I don't know if we can get it, but it is intriguing to say the least.
Not to me. We have identified that this does not work. Us continuing to try to make it work is a poor investment in our time and assets. I also don't think that there's a real way for us to win the NFC South, considering what we did not do in the first half of the season. So I'm not concerning myself with anything. I feel kind of like you do, like what you did earlier in the season, where it's like I wash my hands of this. I'm just going to watch and see how it plays out. That's where I am. I'm not fooling myself. I don't have a reason to. I have good sense that my parents imparted me with, and that says that you can't trust the Falcons as far as you can throw them. That being said,
you could always sign Brandon Ayuk. He was just released by the 49ers, who just won the game.
When was he released?
They voided his contract. They voided his contract. So as a result of voiding his contract, he can now be released and free to sign with any team. If I'm looking at needing a receiver, I would probably kick the tires on him just to see where he is. But that is noted that they voided his whole contract. They gave him $100 million and said, "Nah."
And And the 49ers don't have any legit, like, he's also the best wide receiver they have. He's better than Slick Rick. He's better than Juwan Jennings. He's the only guy there who, I'm not going to say better, but definitely more established. And for them to send you home, that is
Ray
that.
McLeod you.
Yeah.
As we need a third receiver.
Right.
I wouldn't mind kicking the tires on him, but I know we not doing no scandals. We've had one scandal and we're not doing no more.
I'd rather kick the coach than kick the damn tires. And in the time that we've been potting, the Panthers lost to the San Francisco 49ers 20-9. The Panthers look back like themselves, and Brock Purdy came in and managed to throw 3 interceptions and still win a football game.
Yeah, he looks
like a poor investment.
Yeah, I mean, you have Salah has that defense playing outrageous. They're so good with what they have and what they're missing, and they're still so good defensively. He's probably going to be a head coach next year somewhere.
Brock Purdy, 23 of 32, 139 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, did not get sacked.
He threw them 3 interceptions in a row, too. He was like back to back.
Bryce Young, 18 of 29, 169 yards, 1 touchdown. He gave him 2 interceptions and was sacked once.
Threw one in the end zone from the 1 yard line. That's coaching.
A slog. Rico Dowdell, 6 carries, 38 yards. Christian McCaffrey, 24 carries for 89 yards.
Spammed him.
That is child, like that is human abuse. What do they know he's white?
Yeah, they just didn't know he was white and fast.
They treat him like a black man. Yeah, get on out there, you'll be fine.
So now the Rams beat the Bucs, and now as a result of the next game, which is the top story, the Cowboys stunned the Eagles with the largest comeback in franchise history, tying the largest comeback in franchise history. They went 24-21. The Eagles scored 21 straight points to start the game off and then didn't score for 8 straight possessions. And now the Rams, as a result, are the number 1 team. George Pickens looks like one of the top 5 receivers in the league.
Shout out to the Steelers. Identifying that the guy is good and then giving him away
for a less talented, more expensive, older person.
And then, I mean, there's a lot here. First point of order, and I know y'all don't want to hear from me, but I also just do not care. I told y'all that the Cowboys going to win this game. I don't know if me and you bet that on Saturday, but I do remember your exclamation of, you picked the Cowboys versus the Eagles? And I was like, yes. Then the Eagles went up 21-0, and I'm like, boy, y'all going to make me look crazy. And then as soon as they went up 21-0, they didn't do anything ever again and made me look like a genius. So shout out to the Eagles for playing themselves. The Cowboys are in full cowboy mode because I don't think they have a way to the playoffs. And now they have this massive situation of how do you pay George Pickens what he's worth?
Franchise. They already said they're going to franchise tag him at $28 million. That's what that's going to be.
Do you think that you should franchise the crazy person? You think
that was my next point. He's playing for a contract. At what point, once he gets the money, do you trust him? Because he's gonna get the money,
right?
He's gonna get the money,
right?
Well, one, I don't think that they can come back in this division. Philly's 8-2, 8-3, and they're 5-5-1. If they had won against the Packers, boy, talk about disappointing. Mm-hmm. If they had won against the Packers, they would have been
6-5 would be a lot closer.
Well,
and the Phillies, and you called them the Philadelphia Phillies. They're the Eagles.
They play the Bears, the Chargers.
No, Joe.
Commanders twice, and then the Bills in the Raiders.
They're gonna run away with it, and especially after this loss. Oh, they probably this might have been an old school day of practice. Like, hey, Y'all not getting
Oklahoma.
along. Figure that out. And we had a 21-point lead and lost the game. Embarrassed. We've embarrassed ourselves. And that's the thing. The Philadelphia Eagles have embarrassed themselves as an organization for the last like 4 or 5 weeks. Even in the games that you win, you have so much.
Embarrassed themselves last year. They just happened to win the Super Bowl.
Well, what I'm saying is you've embarrassed yourself. You got everybody talking in the media. Everybody got, not happy. And then it was okay when y'all were like, you can be mad with somebody as long as we win it. Then you play your biggest rival. You get a 21-point lead and trick it off. There's no talking from anybody in practice. Hey, shut up. We have to win. Y'all have to put everything personal aside. We have to get back to the thing that is the main thing. And the main thing is W's.
They got to figure out how to get Saquon Barkley back on track.
They got to figure the offensive coordinator. Everybody's looking at you, bro. Your conflict management, your target man, you are tricking off a really good team. Most teams don't have a roster like this, bro. You look crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking of
the other top story. So this is a shady picture for me.
This is their picture.
I know. The Browns beat the Raiders, which is not surprising because the Raiders suck. And when I say the Raiders suck, the Raiders are awful. Their offensive line is terrible. Ashton Genty, free you. But
no, Freedom Carroll boys. That's what they need to free.
But Shador Brown gets his first start, and he does something for the first time in 26 years that happened in Cleveland. It hasn't happened in 26 years. A Cleveland Brown quarterback started their first game and won their first start, and it was Shador Sanders. Shador had an up and well, did you see the game? Did you see the highlights?
Yes, I watched this one. I had to.
He had an up and down game. But I tell you, he looked better than Dylan Gabriel. For sure.
Now, this is where I offer pushback. And I'm just going to give you all the numbers. I'm going to give you a reasonable opinion, and you can take it or not take it. Shador Sanders, 11 of 20, 209 yards. He's averaging 10.5 yards per completion. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 1 sack against the Los Angeles Raiders. Excuse me, the Oakland Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders. Jesus. They one of them cities, in all of them cities. If you drafted a guy in the 3rd round in Dylan Gabriel, and if you don't think that he could give the Las Vegas Raiders 11 completions for 209 yards and 1 touchdown and 1 interception, then I question your scouting department.
The Browns? You don't?
No. Wait, hold on. I'm getting there. So if Dylan Gabriel can't do this, then there are bigger problems. I personally think that Dylan Gabriel could do the same thing. Will it probably look the same? No. Dylan likes to throw a little bit shorter of a ball. That's fine. But I think that this is.
I hope numbers then.
Huh?
You're hiding behind numbers because you watched the game. They threw the ball down the field like 60. Jared Judy had to stop, skip, and jump. That messed up a play. He stumbled at the 1-yard line. Like, I feel like the Browns offense, yes, they played the Raiders. And yes, the Raiders are awful. Just like I said with the Falcons, hey, we're not going to get too hyped. I do think that they look better under Shador. But I also do think that I don't know their schedule, but I just hope that with all this hype that the bottom has a chance to fall out of this.
But I mean,
the team looks like they're really behind Shador for sure.
This is what I will say about this situation is he's going to, and I really hate it for him. At the end of the day, I want Shedeur to have a fair opportunity to present himself to the world as an NFL quarterback and get a fair shake. I don't want him to get any preferential treatment, but I also don't want him to be put in a situation where he has no chance to be successful. And like I said last week, this is a good game to start because you're going to play against a team that I think across the board. What I mean, I hope not, Lord. That's the other part. I don't want him to continuously perpetually be going into these slumlord situations where success is not a attainable thing, because that doesn't do anything for him either. So you're going to play the 49ers next, which is probably going to be not a great game for you. Right. Then you get to play against the Tennessee Titans. That's a really good game for you. You get to play against a guy who people will consider you're comparable, even though y'all are not. He's going to get sacked 100 million times. You got to hope, that's another Myles Garrett 5-sack game.
But you gotta talk about Stefanski. Like Stefanski's, this is me. My point of view. He clearly does not want Shedeur to play at all. He has no intention of wanting Shedeur to play. I'm not saying he has a personal vendetta, but professionally, he is not trying to have any type of Shedeur nothing. Even to the point of when Shedeur did get the first win, most of the time you make a big deal of a quarterback, especially a rookie quarterback, getting their first win. And from what all the clips that I saw, because again, we weren't in the locker room, but all the clips we've seen, he gave like superlatives and game balls to everybody else, and then was like, "Oh, shout out to Shedeur for his first win," and then kept it moving. And I don't know if it was edited that way because it did cut out right after the video, but everybody didn't see. Everybody that sees the step video doesn't come up with the same conclusion unless that conclusion is likely. And to me, Stefanski, for whatever reason, the whole thing of him starting and not getting reps and him refusing to announce a starter next week, I'm not going to really fall into that trap anymore, that media trap anymore. But it is clear to me that he does not want Shedeur to play, even at the detriment of an already bad team.
Well, I think that he understands. I think that it's a multi-level kind of situation because I think he understands that ownership doesn't want Shedeur to be their guy, and I think that he's trying to keep his job. So if I know my supervisor doesn't want this person and clearly wants the other guy, and I'm trying to keep this job, and I haven't won a lot of football games, then I'm probably going to acquiesce to what leadership wants, because if I go against it, then they're going to fire me.
You're going to get fired anyway.
Well,
and so your rebuttal to that is to play Dylan Gabriel?
Man, I think that that's been his plan. Now, there is another part of this, and y'all may or may not like it. I also don't care. And at the end of the game, they interview Shedeur after the game, and his answer is, "I'm who they've been looking for."
Mm-hmm.
I think there are a couple things. Number one, bro, if you go 11 or 20 for 200 yards, you didn't play "I'm who they've been looking for" football. And I would say that to anybody. If Michael Penix goes 11-20, bro, do not win a game against the Raiders. Like, oh, that I'm who. No, you ain't. That's not what we're looking for. You got the job done. Congratulations. But the person who we're looking for is Myles Garrett and his 5 sacks. That's who we've been looking for. I think that he could have handled that situation better, and I think that that's another part of this situation that people are holding against him. You're a quarterback, bro. They're going to expect you to say we and us, not I and me. And in this time, after all the things that you kind of did going into the draft, I think this is an opportunity for him to say, hey, man, this is a massive team win. Our defense went crazy. We had 10 sacks. And we get back to it next week. That's what I would have liked to hear. Not I'm who they've been looking for.
Man, that's not my personality. So if I feel like you've been shitting on me since I walked in the door, then no. Especially, and then you ain't give me no game, but man.
Right, but the other part is you're in any other situation, you're right. Or if you're playing basketball, you're right. But football, you know what you expect out of the quarterback. Because you get all the
Cleveland,
credit.
you can't say that. You make this same thing about the quarterback all the time in Cleveland. They have not had a good quarterback ever since
Correct.
since before they left. They haven't had a good quarterback. So you can't tell me that is not what I expect out of the quarterback. They've had 40 quarterbacks.
No, but what I'm saying at the quarterback position, and let's be real, Shador, you've gotten all the publicity all season. This is the one time where it's like, this don't need to be about me. This game wasn't really about me. Like, yeah, I helped, but the defense with the 10 sacks is what really carried us.
Yeah, the Raiders O-line is awful. The defense did have 10 sacks, but they also couldn't. They've had other games where they've had multiple sacks. They like the Falcons. They 5, 6, 7 sacks and lost the game because Dylan Gabriel was ass.
Okay, well, if you do that, that's great.
I
don't think. No. Quarterback position. This is. Okay.
What did you expect him to do as a rookie making his first start? Because who fourth string? Because it seems to me that there's a lot of leeway
when you say what did I expect him to do? When you say what did I expect him to do you mean how I expected him to handle the interview, or what did I expect him to do during the game?
You already said what he would do in the interview. In the game, you said 11 for 20, 204 yards. You don't get a chance. You shouldn't be able to talk. You shouldn't be able to say nothing. You should be humble, etc. So if that's what you're saying, what did you expect for him to do in his first start?
I think that he played a very normal first game. Very normal first game. And that's what you say after the first game. What did Michael Penix say after his first game? All right, great. Moving on to the next one.
Yeah, Michael Penix wasn't fourth on the depth chart. Like again, it just seems like there's a set of sliding rules.
What did Dylan Gabriel say after he won? He didn't say, I'm who they've been looking for.
So, do you think that I don't think Dylan Gabriel should have started over Shador? I think that the treatment that Shador has had versus Dylan Gabriel versus all that, it's been I don't know the word. Biased is wrong because it's not biased. But unfair is too strong of a word. But it's like, bro, I feel like specifically the Browns we criticized the Jets owner for saying I don't think Justin Fields, saying all those things about Justin Fields. But
Justin Fields won the next game. And what did he say? All right, when we play football, we won and we kept it moving.
I have no problem with Shador shitting on the people that shitted on him. I think that would be how I say that. And if the Browns decide to move on from him because of that, that's what everybody's saying he needs to do anyway. This is your audition to leave. This is not your audition to take the Browns. the Browns starting quarterback job? No. As everybody knows, they've invested an insane amount of money into Freaky D. So if they're going to do all of that, then you know that they're going to get rid of you next year. They don't want you, or they're going to get rid of Kevin Stefanski and you. They're not going to do all of that. So this is your opportunity to get out of Cleveland.
My only thing with this is we didn't just come from the draft, but during the draft, the things that he said, people didn't like. You can like that or not like that, but it was a sticking point, which people clearly said when he came in and said, "Get you or me." They didn't like that. For you to now,
who didn't like it?
The teams that continuously passed over him.
They needed a quarterback like the Giants.
No, the Giants found their quarterback.
No, they needed a quarterback, right?
Correct.
And they passed over him, right? They didn't want him. Right. So, and the Giants are where?
The Giants.
Who needed the Jets, right? So my point is, if that's gonna keep you from cool, y'all can suck too. Y'all can be over there and y'all can be trash too. Jackson Dart got 4 concussions in 6 weeks. Cool. Brian Daboll was out of a job. Cool. Yeah. You can do all of those things. If y'all gonna try to lean on that, you can't. Nobody can explain the Dylan Gabriel pick. Nobody can explain that. Not at all. Tyler Scholes.
I 100% can explain the Dylan Gabriel pick.
No, I think that nobody had Dylan Gabriel more than a 5th round pick at the highest, and then to take him in the 3rd is
yes, because so do you think that there is a media circus that comes with Shedeur?
Yeah.
Do you think the football coaches want a media circus?
I think they could tolerate it if they win.
I asked you a very simple question.
Yes, I think they could tolerate it if they win.
You think that football coaches want a media circus?
Do they want it? No. Do they tolerate it? Yes. Okay.
Do you think you want a media circus for a guy that is not your long-term plan? Just a fair question. You just said they're signed up with Deshaun Watson for the foreseeable future. Good, bad, or indifferent. Yes.
Yeah.
So why would I invite in my right mind at a job that I'm barely holding on to a media circus when this guy there's no mathematical way for him to be our future? All this does is bring
what are you talking about? You can say the same thing minus the media circus with Dylan Gabriel. Why would I pass over a person who I think is better to get Dylan Gabriel? And I'm holding on my job by a thread. And Dylan Gabriel is clearly not good. So all of the things that you're saying about Shedeur not being, you can say the same thing about Dylan Gabriel.
If I think that Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders are about the same, or I'll even acquiesce this. If I think that Shedeur Sanders is, I want to be fair here. I don't think that anybody believes that Shedeur Sanders is way better than Dylan Gabriel.
I don't think Dylan. If Shedeur Sanders, I think he's 2 to 3 rounds better than Dylan Gabriel.
Okay, so do you so how much better, and I don't know if we can even quantify this, how much better do you think that Dylan Gabriel is than Shedeur?
I don't.
Excuse me. How much better do you think that, how many games do you think? I guess that's the closest way I can quantify it. You take if you and this is once again just hypothetical. If you were to say you start the season with Shedeur, you start the season with Dylan Gabriel, let them play all the games, what record do you think you get with Shedeur?
He probably gets you. Probably get you a couple more wins. I will have to say I have to go back and watch all the Cleveland games in depth. But from what I've seen, Dylan Gabriel has deficiencies that Shedeur does not have.
Fair enough. That's okay. So what I'm saying is, high side, how many games do you think that you win with Shedeur?
6.
And you think that Dylan Gabriel, he won how many games?
2.
So you would assume he probably win 5 at least, right?
No, I don't know. What I've seen,
If
bro,
Dylan
Dylan
Gabriel
Gabriel is
got,
ass, bro.
he won
The
2.
only way I could quantify it that I told you before was that Dylan Gabriel to me had a 6th or 7th round grade.
Okay.
Shador had a
in the-
3rd round grade. Even though he tried to talk, more than likely you saw him go to 3rd round. I think that's pretty accurate.
Okay. Dylan Gabriel for the season, 937 yards, 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games.
So you like to try to hide behind stats a lot.
No.
And then provide context on other things.
Go
ahead.
What I'm saying is, if you look at the evaluation of both of these players, even if you're high on Shador, they got to be pretty close.
Why? Dylan Gabriel doesn't. What's his yards per throw? His yards per completion has to be like 2. Has to be like 7. Has to be like 5. 5. I think he averaged 5 for like 2 games. Dylan Gabriel can't throw the ball down the field. He can't see. That's why Stefanski only throws screens. He even overthrows screens. Like, that's what I'm saying when you hide behind stats. Like, if you watch Dylan Gabriel play and watch how Shador played, just from what we've seen, it's like Zach Robinson and how he was calling the offense for Penix versus Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, he's throwing the ball down the field for whatever reason. Penix, he didn't. For whatever reason, they don't throw the ball down the field with Dylan Gabriel. That has been the knock all year.
Okay. So, I mean, this is the good thing is they made Shador the starting quarterback. I think that unless barring injury, we'll get to see him play for the rest of the season. So he'll end up with probably about No. He's named the starting quarterback, and Dylan Gabriel's out of concussion. Yes. But what I'm saying is, he is the starting quarterback, and Dylan Gabriel is no longer in concussion protocol. The reason that Shador is starting is because he's chosen him to start as the quarterback.
Mm-hmm. So he's not in. I didn't know it wasn't in concussion protocol.
Completely out. That's the reason everything came up today of him being named the starter. I would assume that they named him the starter to continue starting. I don't think that they're going to start different quarterbacks every game. I don't know what the Cleveland Browns are going to do because they don't make good decisions. But I also know that if the Browns are deciding, hey, we should start this guy, and they have a history of making really bad decisions, I think that this might be another one. But we're going to get to see it. But it should be interesting to watch.
It'll be fun for sure.
I don't think it's going to be fun.
It'll be fun. It's fun just because I saw the team and how they reacted to even the fact that just to one pass. Now they will still have to lean on the defense. I mean, 10 sacks is 10 sacks. 10 sacks is crazy. 10 sacks is crazy. Myles Garrett is about to break the sack record with like 5 games to go.
Matt, he's out sacking teams.
Yeah. He's at 7 in 2 games.
He also gonna have some accountability too, because I keep calling him Mike Trout. You have all these wonderful seasons, and you're not competing for anything. You're just doing this.
Accountability. The accountability. He's Melo. That's what Melo did. Melo should have went to Chicago with Derrick Rose. You decided to take the money and stay in a failing ship of New York Knicks. Cleveland, he should have gone literally anywhere else. Any contender would have traded the world for him.
I agree.
And he didn't, and now you stay. It is what it is. Get your sack record. You're going to get that. You're going to Joe Thomas this way out. You're going to start every game. You're going to get your sack record, and you're going to end up going to the Hall of Fame for playing for a terrible franchise. That's why Joe Thomas is in the NFL Hall of Fame, to let y'all know. The Cleveland Browns were so bad that they were like, damn, he actually stayed there the whole season. Hall of Fame, that man. And he was good.
Joe Thomas was elite, and he
don't let me shade that he's not elite.
Yeah,
but
they are basically the Lions. They're the same thing that happened with Barry Sanders. Same thing happened with Calvin Johnson, where it's like just wasted all your time. But I I don't
About
think
to
that
be
this
another one
Browns
too?
thing is going to be fun, and I think it's going to be miserable for everybody. That's the reason I would just rather, hey, Shador, get away from this place.
And this is, to me, that's why this is his way to get away. If he didn't play, what would you? Why, with everything you just said about media circus and all of these things, if he didn't play, what other option would he have? Who would take a flyer on Shador as a backup quarterback with all this media circus with no tape?
He would have gotten another chance. Hey, come in here and compete. You probably still be a backup, but I think that.
But you just said that. You just said your point was that Shador does not come.
I
He comes
don't
with the
have
media
the
circus.
same
Now I'm saying,
valuation
if it
on
comes with the media
Shador.
circus, how is he going to be able to get to another team and get out of Cleveland with no tape?
Okay, so let me clarify some things. I don't think that Shador Sanders is a legitimate starting quarterback on a team that's trying to do anything. I think that he probably is just a solid backup. And him going to a team and trying to play is not going to be great. So I think that, best thing he could have done is been a backup for another season.
For Cleveland.
But no, escape Cleveland, then go somewhere else and really learn, because they're going to let you try out, and he's a good enough quarterback to be a backup. It's not like this guy doesn't belong on the roster. I just don't think that he's a starter on a good team.
Okay. You don't believe he's a starter. That's fine. I won't argue that. I don't really know if he is. But I will say, with everything that happened in the draft, all the teams passed on him. All them teams needed backup quarterbacks. All them teams needed quarterbacks. He then goes to the Browns and can't beat out Dylan Gabriel and Joe Flacco, right?
Sure.
You assume, right?
Correct.
So if I'm a team and I know that Shador comes with a circus and he has no tape and he can't beat out Dylan Gabriel and Joe Flacco, according to Kevin Stefanski and the Browns, why would I give him an opportunity?
Oh, you call him and work him out. Same thing that happened with Trey Lance. You don't have no good tape with Trey Lance.
Trey Lance didn't come with the media circus that you said.
Yes, he came with being traded for 3 picks and then them moving on from him.
That's not a media circus.
That's okay. Agree to disagree. I think that Trey Lance surely comes with his own set of baggage. And I think that if they gave Trey Lance a shot, I think that most teams would at least say, hey, man, let's work him out. He's not that. I think he's that good. He's workout good. I don't think he's like, oh, no one call him good.
I mean, no one called him.
Well, I think that's also how he handled things and his consistency in not handling things in a certain manner and be like, I probably don't want to deal with it.
So if that
also
happens,
let's address people not handling things right, since we're talking about the Browns and the Raiders. As you can see there, the Raiders were creamed by the Cleveland Browns.
Wow.
Sure. Fair. With that being said, after the game, they asked Pete Carroll about how he felt and how, he was addressing his team and how they were going to get up to continue the season after this demoralizing loss to the Cleveland Browns. And Pete Carroll, out of his bird brain mind, said something good's about to happen. I don't know the last time I looked at somebody and said, oh, you are not lucid. You're not here at all. You're not. I don't know where you are and what you're believing, but you're delusional. Pete Carroll, there's nothing good happening in Las Vegas other than them getting you and your family the hell out of there, bro. Your family is the reason that this team sucks.
Yeah. And you hired Chip Kelly.
I am not blaming Chip Kelly for this. I'm blaming Pete Carroll. I actually think that Chip Kelly got a raw deal. You got this terrible coach and your son as the offensive line coach and the running game coordinator, and we get tackled in the backfield 70% of the time. How am I supposed to call as offensive coordinator? What am I supposed to do with that when they're going to tackle him in the backfield every time? You're not coaching the offensive line. You're not coaching the running backs to be successful. And we believe that Ashton Jeanty is a good football player. You're just not you're not even getting close to getting it done. And these are your family members. If I'm Chip Kelly, I'm happy to get the hell out of the Raiders. Hey, bro, it's people that need offenses.
They about to fire. They're going to fire. They're going to move on from Pete. I think Mark Davis has already been kind of, once you start seeing stuff leak, like sources say that the Raiders may move on from Pete Carroll, that the sources are from the Raiders. So that means they're already getting ahead of the story and telling you, hey, Pete Carroll can get the hell on.
Yeah, like, you and your family, because y'all suck. We lost to the Browns. Now we got to explain how we lost to Shador. Because you know that Vegas radio eating them up. You lost to who? And what? Dead on arrival.
With Brock Bowers and Ashton Jeanty.
Right.
They need a lot. And they should have traded Max Crosby. They're another team that should have traded their star defensive end because he's not on their timeline. But it is what it is. The Raiders are a shit show. NFC North real quick. The Bears. Few things here. The Bears are leading the division.
Funny story.
No Aaron Rodgers in this game because he has a broken wrist.
That's a joke.
Awful timing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And at this point, do people have to come and at this point, do you have to come and say that we were wrong about Caleb Williams? Were we wrong about Caleb Williams? And when I say we, I mean people, not me and you. Were people wrong about Caleb Williams? Were people wrong about the Bears front office? They caught a lot of flack for last year. And now that whole team looks like they are gelling at the right time with Caleb Williams, who seems to have figured it out. And that defense, even though they allowed 24 points, got sacks in a timely manner. They look pretty good in what we believe is a strong division. We believe the NFC North is for real.
8-3 with what we went into the season believed to be 4 legitimate teams. The Vikings, I think, are a legitimate team with a quarterback crisis. I think that the team is good. I think that their quarterback is holding them back. I think that the Lions at 7-4 are clearly a good team. No, I'm here. I think that the Packers at 7-3 are surely a good team. And everything that we once said about CJ Stroud may be at least reasonably true for Caleb Williams. Now, I also think that this is a more interesting situation because on one hand, you had the guy who was able to kind of start hot and cool off. Caleb Williams has shown a level of resilience and been able to continue to play through it. And in that time, he's found a way to be successful playing very, very difficult football teams. And I give him credit. It's a very good win against the Steelers, 31-28. They got the job done. I do think that people owe them an apology, but I will wait, and I'm interested to hear it. Next up, the Lions roll the Giants. And not roll the Giants. They played them to the end. Detroit wins 34-27. They seem like, even though they won this game, it seemed like they've lost something that they had, and I believe that it's probably just their coaching. The belief that they had, everything they had going on. At one point, it seems like they're still winning games because they're a good roster, but their coaching is what really pushed them to be one of those elite teams. And having to rebuild the staff is probably a problem right now for Dan Campbell. Hopefully they get it figured out. That is a dogfight, though. The Bears at 8-3, Packers at 7-3, Lions at 7-4. That's what football is about. And we can go right on here to the Packers. The Packers beat the Vikings 23-8. I think that the Vikings are in a world of trouble. I think that the Vikings have been in a world of trouble for a very long time now. If y'all remember, I started the season saying that I didn't trust J.J. McCarthy. I really believed that they should have kept Sam Darnold and at least extended him and then trying to work out a contract long term, because I think it would have been the best for them. And they didn't. They let Sam Darnold go to Seattle, who's been playing fantastic and continue to win and be a problem in the NFC West. And J.J. McCarthy looks unplayable. Justin Jefferson is averaging the fewest yards per game that he's ever averaged. And he doesn't look happy playing football. This is a problem. You have a guy who at this point is, I would consider I'm not going to say at the apex of his career, but he's getting there. And in this time, he is not getting a quarterback to play effective with him. Keeps him out of his rhythm. He's keeping him out of his numbers, which keeps him away from his money. Keeping receivers away from their numbers and money is the quickest way to piss him off. He looks pissed off. He's trying to manage his emotions to the best of his abilities, because if he can, then that will do him a solid. If he can, he won't be considered a diva. He won't be considered a team cancer. He will get it figured out. And they did. But with that being said, I don't know what to do with Justin Jefferson and Minnesota and J.J. McCarthy. Now that Reggie is back, you can tell me what you would do if you were the GM and head coach of the Minnesota Vikings.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know what happened. The whole internet went down on the streak, apparently. Damn, I must have missed the Lions, Giants. Giants are good. Jahmyr Gibbs is that guy. Shout out to Jameis. GOAT. I would have Jameis on my team forever. Jameis is the answer to a lot of these teams. Jameis was the right answer in Cleveland, and they let him go. Yep. If you play Jameis for a year, he's going to throw you enough touchdowns for Jerry Jeudy to look like a world beater. Everybody's happy. He's going to throw a ton of interceptions. You can still blame it on Jameis, and everybody's happy. And he'll take the blame. Too. Speaking of Minnesota, he looked good in Minnesota too. J.J. McCarthy was just never good at throwing the ball. We knew this. Are you frozen again? Okay,
no,
okay.
I'm just
listening.
I frozen?
Okay, no. Okay. J.J. McCarthy, they try to build players up like him. We told y'all in college, Michigan came from a double tight end, run the ball, Jim Harbaugh pro-style offense. Jim Harbaugh played pro-style offense in the 90s. To then bring him here because y'all said he had a strong arm. And I was like, bruh, we've seen J.J. McCarthy now for 3 years. We've seen him not be great. But y'all told us that he was great. You had Kirk Cousins, who got everybody paid. When it comes to wide receivers, what's the one thing you got to do? Get them paid. Kirk Cousins got Jordan Jefferson paid. He had Jordan Addison looking good. Hell, he had TJ. Is it TJ Hawkinson who got traded?
Yep.
Yeah, Hawkinson get a job. He had them playing well. And then you went to Sam Darnold, who had them playing even better.
Let him go.
Or just as good. And you still went with J.J. McCarthy.
If
and at that point,
you don't want me, then don't talk to me.
J.J. McCarthy hasn't shown anything. I think he threw one touchdown and then he got hurt. And then y'all was like, oh, that's what we need to see. At least Michael Penix showed flashes. But I mean, like J.J. McCarthy, y'all gonna have to do something. Because
I
you could.
don't care
It's you or
about
me.
J.
It's
I
JJ or
don't
JJ's.
care.
Which one you gonna pick?
I don't care about Mr. Trubisky. We knew he sucked on day one. Y'all are the people who said, "Oh, we smarter than everybody else." Now, see, this is a place where I think, hey, Shador, get over here. Stick around. You can do enough with these two guys. You'll be all right. Way better situation than Cleveland. But if I'm Justin Jefferson, it's all cool with Shador, but I'm not looking for that guy either. I'm not looking for any guy that you can probably provide me outside of maybe a return of Kirk Cousins, who I still would not really be interested in. I'm in my prime. I want to be paired with a guy who is, he ain't gotta be in his prime, but he gotta be a real QB. You can't give me these scams and expect me to make that happen. I can't do it with a scam. And now JJ McCarthy is questionable. Carson Wentz, of course, already on IR. And then they have Max Brosmer. It's a man I've never heard of.
Yeah, number 12, right?
He has 42 yards for the season.
If I'm Justin Jefferson, I'm probably trying to go. You don't want to go to a rebuilding, but I mean, you're in a rebuilding mode. You're in rebuilding right now.
Denver. Send me to Denver. I would love to go to Denver.
Denver, Houston, the Colts,
Patriots.
Nope, can't go there. Even though they got all the picks.
Who?
I was gonna say Dallas, but you can't go to Dallas because they already got CD and what's his name?
They ain't got no money. I think that the Colts would be a good move. You got to probably do something. You're probably gonna lose some of the defense because you're gonna have to pay him. You already paying Taylor.
Yeah, you ain't paying nobody else on offense. Quentin Nelson.
Tight end Tyler Warren.
Yeah, rookie.
Yeah, you're right. You ain't paying him yet.
4 more years, but that's the bad thing about football. 4+1.
Yeah, I think that will be a good spot for him, but definitely I'm getting the hell out of there. They're not trading him to Green Bay. Now that is something.
But I'm saying that would be a good place for him to go.
Yeah, but also they probably they're finna be. Chicago, they got a thing with Romo Dunze right now. I think the DJ Moore, you get into the draft to kind of get some guys. I think that they're going to try to space their money out and kind of grow it organically because Justin Jefferson is looking to play for a team that's trying to win a Super Bowl every season going forward. I think the Bears are having a good season. I don't think they're ready to be like putting me in the Super Bowl conversation.
Well, then there's always the place where you could go. Oh, dang. Justin Jefferson makes that in 1 year. I don't know how you would do that. There's always a place you could go, and that's the LA Rams. You know, they don't care about picks. They'll trade them all. And Devontae's on his way out. So
yeah, but they also got Puka, and Puka should get the money because
Puka would probably get 25 to 30.
No, I think that this is where you get into it is his production puts him high. Do I think that he deserves it? Would I pay the money? Probably not because I'm a kingmaker. But his results come with money.
Even if his results come with money, I mean, yeah. There's places for Justin Jefferson to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and anybody with any level of common sense understands. Hey, I make this work. This here is a killer. There's no way to acquire a guy this good.
I mean,
you could draft Aldred. There's not one mistake.
You may not want to hear it. Carolina,
what?
Him and Tet would be insane.
He ain't doing that. He's not doing that. I'm not going over there with Bryce Young.
You got 44 million, so there ain't too many places you go. Denver, we said Denver. AFC is really the answer because nobody in the NFC gonna want to play you.
Tampa.
Why would I?
I mean, they got. I can trade you Goodwin and something else. Maybe Cade Otton. I can give. I
For
can.
Justin Jefferson, Cade Otton, and Goodwin. Both of them are hurt. I want Emeka Ibuka. That's to even pick up the conversation. That's to even pick up the phone.
Yeah, but you're right. I could give you a Emeka Ibuka, and then as good as he is, you could. Yeah, I think that.
As White, I need draft picks. I need nobody else you got on offense. I could you know what? I need Emeka Ibuka and Tristan Wirfs. That'll have the conversation.
I don't know if you're gonna get Wirfs. Wirfs is a big haul. I mean,
the number one wide receiver.
I understand that, but I also understand that I know that you're in a place of need. Like, this guy isn't happy. I'm not giving you the deal to walk away from if I know he's not happy. I'm negotiating from a place of power. I throw you a low ball. Tampa's honestly pretty good. I throw you a low ball answer, take it or leave it. But I feel like,
and then I'll just swindle Cincinnati. Give me T. Higgins and all of your terrible draft picks, and you guys can be LSU 2.0.
Tennessee. Not Tennessee, Lord.
Tennessee, but he ain't
Cincinnati. Nah, they Justin Jefferson only makes their problem larger. He's more expensive than T. Higgins.
Yeah. And there's not many places he can go with that contract.
Denver. I'm telling you, Denver is the answer. Give me Sean Payton. Give me Bo Nix.
Yeah, because Bo Nix is on the rookie contract.
Right.
Yeah. I'll give you all of the receivers.
Correct. Pick them. You don't even have to tell me. Just pick them, and I'll send them over.
You got to give them defense, though, but they're gonna lose their defense corner. But yeah, go ahead.
The Chiefs come back after being down, I think 10 to the Colts and winning in overtime. The Chiefs are literally playing for their lives at this point every week. And they got it done, but they're like a 55% chance of making the playoffs right now. It's wild how far the Chiefs has fallen. I think that Mahomes got to be better. I have to say that. We've given him a ton of credit because he's played really well for a really long time. But, bro, you got to be good again, too. That's a part of this. I don't know if he's hurt or whatever it is. I'm probably shooting him some bail.
He's missing a lot of all them deep passes that he was making because them dudes be open on the deep passes. Now, he can only throw the ball to Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce over the middle. Nobody else can catch the ball over the middle that he trusts. And then they send everybody else on verticals. They need to get now. They did just sign Dameon Pierce, who I think is going to revitalize that run game.
And that's another part of them is ever since Jerick has been gone, his team ain't been the same. He really unlocked a lot of doors for them that made them multifaceted. And after that, Pacheco ain't really been the same. Clyde had whatever he had going on. He ain't been the same. And that's really limited their ability to do things. I think they should be highly interested in trying to find a guy who can do what Jerick was doing and try to bring that ability back. It's amazing how something so simple and kind of like, because Jerick was a big part of their team, but not the biggest part. But the abilities and things that he unlocked really were special, and his ability to block.
The answer is Algier. That's who you go after. You offer Algier $2 million more than anybody else offers, and
I think they need a guy
pass block. He can run in between the tackles, and he can catch the ball out the backfield. Maybe not as maybe the sliders are different between him and Jerick. Jerick is better at catching the ball out the backfield, but Algier is better at running in between the tackles, right? I think their pass blocking is probably around the same. So
I agree with that because Algier, they both physical. I just would like a guy who's a little bit more traditional of like a receiving back. I think that makes it. I think that helps their spacing out a lot more. But I don't know who that guy is right now who's available.
If the you pair Algier with Achin, if they blow up Miami,
he would be good if you could get him. And
and that's
if he's a Dolphins guy, then he's a Chiefs guy. That's one thing I do. Their guys are the same guys.
Speed.
Yeah.
Speed. And there's probably a couple more. I just can't think of them.
You got to really look. But I'm interested to see what the Chiefs are gonna do. Hey, Coach, y'all better hold it in the road, bro. Y'all got a head start. Don't trick this off, man. I want to see y'all do
Danny Dimes looking like Danny Dimes.
Right. Do not turn into a pumpkin, bro.
Like
Jaguars over the Cardinals.
Three INTs.
That guy sucks, and he always has sucked since he left Clemson. You played against Jacoby Brissett, he threw 31 completions or something. Like,
how do you have 31 completions for 400 some yards and 1 touchdown?
And he had 40 completions last week. Same thing. I don't know what they be doing, but he looked. I don't give a. Oh Lord, he looks better than Kyler Murray.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And that's a big problem from a guy who was once. I mean.
Yeah, these guys talking stupid online, bro.
317 yards, 1 touchdown, 452 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I mean, this is the type of guy you look at. Yo, it's unbelievable that Jacoby Brissett has 1,887 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions.
That's par for the course for him. When I get to play, I play just well. He's Geno Smith if Geno Smith was cool with being a backup. Jacoby Brissett could go start for most of these teams. He can start for the Saints right now.
That is my thing. That's where I get frustrated between him and Jameis. Ain't no way the guys who y'all are rolling out there are better for your organization. This is a guy who's better than Dylan Gabriel and Shador. He just is. But they roll out these guys, and then on top of that, you waste 2 draft picks that you can't play next year. Stupid. Pat's over the Bengals. The Bengals stink. It's over for them. Burn it down. Everybody hates everybody. They spent too much money. Ain't no defense. Shamar Stewart been weak. Everything up. Everything weak.
Man, look, and Joe B coming back for Thanksgiving. Why? Your boy Jamar Chase lied like we couldn't see him. Like he was like this was a newspaper article and it wasn't a video of him spitting. So he was suspended. Now he said, I'm sorry. Like, I do have a question though. Are the Pats really good? Look at the Patriots wins.
Undetermined. It's just like Drake May. I don't know yet. But see, that's what this is the only thing that frustrates me is we've seen the Patriots play 1,800 games this season, still undecided. I saw Shador play 1 game, and I can't be undecided. I just want to see something.
No, that's goalpost. Nobody said you couldn't be.
No, I think that I want more data on everything. Everything looks funny in the light right now.
That's
I don't
crazy
trust
how you try to
nobody.
That's crazy how you.
It's not. I think that if you don't say, "Oh, I agree immediately," then it's like, "Oh, you're a hater." No.
Okay.
I don't trust. And I want to like Drake May, and I'm like, I still don't trust you, brother. I don't. Now, I will say, I don't think that I think that he could play all season. I really won't know. The receiving core in New England, can you name any of them guys?
Oh yeah, Stephon Diggs, Pops Douglas, Hunter Renfrow. He went for 9,400 against the Falcons.
Hold on. Pats. His name is Pops Douglas.
Well, that's his nickname. His uncle died.
All right, so he go by Pops.
Yeah.
Oh, they do have Butte.
He's just
Well,
hurt.
Mac Hollins is your wide receiver 3.
Yeah.
I like that crazy ass too, man. Fun guy, but I don't want him to be my wide receiver 3 either. He need to be my wide receiver 5.
You can block.
Oh yeah, that's not the first skill I'm looking for in my receiver. You right.
Vrabel offense it is.
Hey man, Mac Hollins can play tight end as far as I'm concerned. That crazy mofo. But Ravens beat the Jets. The Jets suck. The Ravens offense is shaky. Surprise, surprise.
The data was right about running backs. We tried and tried to say and save the running back. Saquon Barkley has fallen off. I don't even know if it's a cliff. It might be the size of the earth. The flat earth is what he's falling off of. And Derrick Henry looks like he's right behind him. Like they can't get their short yardage. I actually listened to Josh and I went back and looked at they are awful on short yardage with Lamar and Lamar's been hurt with Derrick Henry. This I listen, and the crazy thing is they gonna win that they gonna win the division, but they look like a first round out to me.
What did I tell you at the beginning of the season? The same shit happens every year. They win a bunch of games in the regular season. Then when they need the offense, they don't have no offense and they lose. What are they finna do, Reggie? They finna win a bunch of games in regular season, get to the first round of the playoffs. They're not gonna have any offense and they're gonna lose. And then we're gonna be like, man, is Lamar good? And I'm gonna say, I don't care because y'all don't care about getting a receiver.
And the Ravens passing game is struggling.
Surprise, surprise.
You say he ain't gonna dunk that?
No, it's we already knew. Like I want to see the Ravens be successful. I want to see Lamar win a Super Bowl. I would love to see Lamar win a Super Bowl. That's the worst part about it is I want to root for the team. I want it like my team ain't finna win no Super Bowl this year. Yeah, I would at least like to celebrate the black quarterback from Miami. Yeah, but y'all's refusal and his refusal for y'all to make y'all get a quarterback. I mean, to get a wide receiver. I can't care about you more than you care about yourself. And I said that last season, and I mean it this season. Good luck and Godspeed. And then finally, Seahawks beat the Titans. The Titans are terrible. The Seahawks continue to get it done. I bet you the Vikings wish that they could get Sam Darnold back because Jackson Smith and Jigba is looking like a world beater. And Justin Jefferson is like, y'all let that guy go? So he goes somewhat
actually kind of alarming. Not alarming, but I mean 30-24. Y'all are supposed to be clearly better than the Titans, like way better.
Well, I mean, the Titans are still a football team, and I do think that they're not going to be terrible forever.
Why?
Because I mean, I hope, I would hope that damn, like eventually you're gonna get better. You gonna tell me
why do you think that? Why?
I assume that if you play football all season and if you start at one place, by the end of the season, even if the season doesn't go your way, the team should get progressive. I think that all of the
Calvin Ridley out for the season.
Broken, yeah. I think that yeah. I mean, they're Manor, DK, who I like, Van Jefferson. This is just a whole lot of nothing. But yeah, I think that just chemistry and all of those things. I think that Cam Ward is still going to be a decent quarterback if they put a team around him. Like, I mean, 2,000 yards. Oh, he played all. I mean, 7 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He just getting sacked. He getting his face sacked off. Pause. Hey, yo. But I think that's a good place to close because that was wild of me to say. But overall, football season is coming now to the serious part of it. Either your team is good or your team is looking for next season. My team, I think, is looking for next season. Reggie wants to give us some hope so that we believe, but I do not, in fact, believe.
I just want to analyze all the situations so that I can not be surprised or be let down. Whatever. I don't.
Yeah.
Falcons suck. Fire everybody. Not falling for the trick.
Everybody clean the house. I hate to say, even probably Terry Fontenot, bro, because y'all not addressing the blind side for the entire season. You're not addressing the wide receiver 2, knowing that he had a broken collarbone. It is coaching malpractice. It is poor leadership. It is literally like, I'm just going to close my eyes and think that things are going to be different. I'm not stupid. With that being said, we have come to the conclusion of your favorite show. Please remember, number 1, to like, follow, and subscribe. Before I get us out of here, yes, on the closeout, I would like to give my comrade here the opportunity. Do you have any closing remarks? Southern, Hampton, Falcons, Hawks, anybody.
No. I had to think about it for a second. I had some notes here. Southern, I'm looking to see what they do against Bayou Classic. I'm looking to see who's going to be the coach. Saturday Morning Live. I don't know how we're going to do that. We may have to tape it earlier and then just release it because, of course, it's Thanksgiving. And all the games actually start on Thursday and then end on Sunday.
Correct.
But other than that, no, man. We ain't missing anything. Take us out.
I want to be first, super clear. I don't really fuck with y'all that tough right now, Falcons. But I would like to thank my Atlanta Falcons and Atlanta Hawks for doing the needful, going to New Orleans and shutting their city down for the weekend. Good job. If we can't get real victories, I sometimes will settle for the moralist of victories. And I consider that coming to New Orleans and the football team and the basketball team doing the job is very important for my own mental health because it's been rough lately. I can't lie to y'all. I'm not going to mislead you. It ain't been fun. Outside of that, number one, more black baseball. And shout out to the Braves for trying to fix that infield and the pitchers. Number 2, insert your business tagline. Joke here, support black creators. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Number 3, the Historically Black College University. Your auntie went to, your favorite first grade teacher, the person you used to laugh and kiki in the back of church with. Send some money to Historical Black College University. Also, shout out to Mackenzie Scott. You saving blacks. Without you, this would not be possible. The Historically Black College University you go to for homecoming step shows, to be around your people, for the vibes, all of those things. Please send some money over there. You're going over there to suck up the set out, be around your people. Least you can do is reinvest. And then finally, the greatest learning institution in all the world, the Hampton University, one we go to they gave us degrees, excuse me. I also go there for homecoming step shows and everything else. With that being said, please donate $18.68. And from the bottom of our hearts, please support black creators, support HBCUs, live right, drink your water, and stay in the sun. Adios, mi amigos. God is love. Until we meet again, y'all be safe. And we are out of here.